Hello everyone, welcome to the Totally Well Show. I'm your host, Joyce Strong. The Totally Well Show is a place where we get curious, ask questions, and explore everything to do with health, wellness, fitness, personal development, helping people, and all the things it takes to help you live a strong, joyous life. My guest today is Larry Haber. Welcome, Larry.
Well, it's nice to be here.
I'm so excited. I've known Larry for a long time. Larry's a videographer from lhvideo.com, and you can also find him on Facebook at LH Video Production. So do a little search there and you'll find him. And we're going to talk today about technology and how that relates to our health and well-being and personal development and all the things you can get from technology. And Larry's been around the sun a few times, so he's seen, as I have, not as many times as I have, but he's seen a lot of changes. And so we're going to jump into talking about some of the reasons why it's worth going through the learning curve to use the most recent technology.
I agree with you. I find you can enjoy technology. It's fun, and if you make it fun, it's not as scary.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that everybody does is they think they need to be a rocket scientist.
Yeah.
And you don't need to be a rocket scientist. We're going to make mistakes through it, but the rocket scientists are the ones who develop these things. They're the rocket scientists, but they made them user-friendly.
You know what I find in working with clients in health and wellness and in this field, we kind of get stuck in a story we tell ourselves. I'm good at this, I'm not good at that. And if you are stuck in that place where you've tried to use a device or something, maybe it was a VHS tape, maybe it was, who knows, someplace along the line, and you had trouble once, you could even with one episode of a struggle, develop a story that you're not good at, something that really you are good at. You just need to go back and restart and get some help. So I feel sad, especially when people come to me for weight loss, they come to me for exercise, they get this, or even like playing a sport.
Right.
I'm not good. I fell into that with hockey. I was like, I can't skate. I'm not good at hockey. I'm not good at playing sports. And lo and behold, when I finally did it around 50, I found I am very good at skating. So it just took
Isn't that great?
practice. Yeah.
I mean, that's when you discovered hockey, and you could do it.
Yeah. I didn't know because I had told myself a false story based on maybe 2 or 3 times where I put on skates and they were probably not sharpened and they were cheap skates, and I fell. And so I determined then that I was not good at it. So that's what I want to help people with today, with your expertise in technology. How can we break into it or overcome some of the frustration?
Well, I think the first part is not to be afraid of it. You're not going to do anything that's going to harm yourself because...
or break anything.
Or break anything. One of the things I always find when I talk to people who don't know about it is it's the fear. And if you can't break anything. I mean, it's true that if you put it, in the old days, you take a VHS tape, you put it in, and if you accidentally hit record, you erase everything. And so that's how some of that fear came, is they might put some family memories on tape, and they hit record. But what they didn't realize is that on these tapes even, which we don't even use anymore, they have buttons you can push out, and you can make it so you can't hit erase.
Right.
So it's the little things you got to learn about, because the little things will save you from having a problem with the bigger things.
Yeah.
Like,
just to take a little step back,
Sure.
Why do you think it's important, like some of the benefits in your life for being able to use technology? What has it done for you?
I think technology's done a lot. I mean, and that's a whole broad spectrum.
But really for you, I'm curious about in your life, what has it done for?
Well, for the thing for me is that I grew up in this age of technology. I'm not a young person, but I've always been involved in broadcasting, and so I've watched the development of audio equipment change, video equipment change when I went to video, and went from analog to digital. And I remember even when the switch was happening from analog to digital, the amount of people including myself, were very, this is new, this is scary, this is, and the thing was that once you understood it by making mistakes, and mistakes is part of the fun, I guess. For me, it was.
Yeah.
And then you go seek help if you can't figure the answer out. And many times, because I use digital editing now versus analog editing, and so one of the things I found through digital editing is that, first of all, if I made a mistake, all I would do is have to put a whole new timeline together with video, and start from scratch.
Yeah.
But when I couldn't figure something out, I'd always seek help.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because seeking help, you'll get some answers.
Yeah.
And one of the nice things about technology today is YouTube. Almost everything is on YouTube, video-wise.
Yeah.
So let's just say you go out to buy this brand new big flat screen TV.
Yeah.
And you say, boy, I got this new TV set, how do I use it?
Yeah.
Well, the instructions sometimes I think don't really relate to people.
Yeah.
But imagine that this is the TV set here, okay? Or in this case, the iPad. So let's talk about the iPad since I got it here, okay? Yeah. You go onto YouTube and you go iPad 128. We'll just use as a number.
Yeah.
And in iPad, on Google, all of a sudden all these things show up, and then push the button video.
Yeah.
And it'll give you lots of videos from opening the box to what's inside the box, all the way to how to use it.
So any step that you're at, it doesn't matter. You'll just have to sync up with a step that matches your level of knowledge, and then take you there. Yeah.
And that's fascinating, because a lot of the stuff was not done by all the manufacturers. A lot of stuff was done by just average people like like you and myself.
Yeah.
Discovering that, boy, this is not too difficult, but I want to show people how to use it in case they don't know how to use it.
I want to step back and go back to the question I asked, which is, what would motivate me to do this? Like, why would I want to learn how to use an iPad, or learn how to use FaceTime or Zoom or some application? Like, what are the reasons why people want to take the trouble?
Things are great about using it, okay? One, it keeps you connected. In today's world, you want to be connected, okay? So we'll use Facebook for an example, okay? So you go on vacation and you want to let your friends know you're okay, you're on vacation.
Yeah.
And you could make a phone call, I suppose, but you have friends on there, family members on there, and now you can post pictures, which I love about these phones.
Yeah.
So you can also create videos with these things, and then you can send them out.
Yeah, yeah.
And you could share it with everybody instantly.
Yeah.
I mean, before you have to take your old-fashioned camera, take it, and then when you bring it back, you say, well, I'll share my pictures. Well, now you can take lots of pictures, pick as many as you want. And so, like, I just got back from, in the summertime, I went to Italy with my wife. I posted a lot of pictures because I know a lot of family and friends and Facebook friends have never been there.
Yeah.
And so,
well, I'll tell you what that did for me, because I saw when you posted that, and for one, I felt included. I felt happy for you and your wife.
Thank you.
Because that made me, I was like, oh, it's so good that they've taken some time off, and that they're enjoying this time now, because time's limited. So I felt included. I felt connected because I know you. So I was like, it's just a connection. And I probably wouldn't be keeping up with things about you as much if I didn't have this electronics. Same thing with my family. And even though a lot of my family lives close, we're busy, we're working, and sometimes we'll just get on FaceTime with the grandkids, or I think it's a big part for me in my well-being to be connected to, we're social animals, right?
Aren't we? We definitely are.
Yeah.
And that makes it great. There's a new thing that our Facebook created, the Portal, which is a video camera built into a screen. It's sort of like the iPad, except it's just made for Facebook time. And so you're talking about grandkids and family members. So you might have somebody on the West Coast, somebody in mid-America, maybe Chicago, wherever, and you're here and you got some feeling on the floor, and you all want to get together, but you can't because of commitments or family obligations. And so you could have a nice, every month even, get together with the family, and the camera itself will follow you around. So if you move from
that's cool.
and it's kind of really cool, and it's not that sophisticated, but what it does is you could put like 5 different members of your family from different parts of the country or even nearby, and you could have them on screen, and it's great screen time, and they're not that expensive. So technology today is more affordable,
right? For sure.
than it was even 10 years ago.
Yeah, my son was digging through the basement and he found he's trying to start an eBay store. He has started an eBay store. And he's trying to, he found all this old Mac stuff. And he posted it, and somebody, I think on Reddit, said, that stuff you listed went for so many thousands of dollars back then. And I'm like, it did. And when you look at how pathetic the equipment is compared to today. That's one thing I wanted to talk about, is how I think some of the frustration for people, clients who I've worked with, because I build websites, I do some other things, and I help people who they just have that block.
Right.
And I think part of it is that the technology is changing so quickly, and so that they just get used to one thing and it changes again. And so I want to help people see that it's changing fast for all of us.
Oh, it is.
But we've been through changes, right? We were in our preamble. We were talking about. I didn't have a clothes dryer growing up. We used clothespins.
Right.
I had a black and white TV with 3 stations.
Yes, so true.
And I didn't have a remote. And I didn't always have 3 stations because.
And cable TV didn't even exist.
Yeah. What other things? I mean, we've been through. take flying places. A reliable vehicle. We had a vehicle, but it was broke down all the time.
Right.
I mean, so many changes have happened even in my lifetime. So I'm like, I'm expecting it now. It's like I'm not going to get used to this format of digital or analog. I know it's going to keep changing and growing. I like your approach, because you make it fun. To you it's fun and it's an adventure, right?
That's me.
Yeah.
And I tell everybody when they ask me that same question, have fun with it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're having fun with your phone, you try to figure out how it works, have fun with it. Because, like I said, you're not going to break it unless you throw it against the wall. I mean, so it makes it, it might be a challenge. But the other thing with the phones is like, no matter where you buy your phones, even if you go back to where you bought the phone, there are people there who will help you with the phone even.
Yeah.
So if you get frustrated, that's fine. There's somebody that's going to know how to do it.
My son was, I think, he found an old newspaper.
Right.
And in it, there was an article about how returns after Christmas were really high because people got the box and they didn't know how to use it. So they were returning perfectly good equipment because of the frustration. So I think we've gotten beyond that. But I still want to help people understand the why behind, using the equipment and what it can do for them beyond.
Well, another great example is, these phones have location IDs on them, and by the way, you would also have them on your iPads as well, or your tablets.
Yeah.
The difference between a tablet and an iPad is one is an Android, one is an Apple.
Okay. So the operating system.
The operating system is different. That's all. But they both do the same thing. But what's nice about it is having a phone, even just a flip phone. If you're out somewhere, they all have this emergency dial number. Even if you can't get into the phone, they have, like my phone here has an emergency call number, which is to the police.
Right.
So
you can get help.
Get help. I mean,
which to me seems like a no-brainer for seniors, especially where we're more apt to have a fall or have an incident. To be able, and I say we because I am a senior.
And the other thing about that, by the way, is a lot of these companies now give senior discounts.
Oh yeah.
So again, you can get a phone a lot cheaper than, if you want all the bells and whistles, then you can go buy bells and whistles. But you can get a basic phone, which has data on it, which will give you all that features you need, Wi-Fi and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's one thing I want to tell everybody. If you have a phone, always use Wi-Fi. It'll save you data.
Yeah.
And this way your bills don't go higher.
Yeah.
And almost everywhere you go, no matter where you go, almost everybody has Wi-Fi in their place.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
So if you go for a cup of coffee, chances are the place you're having coffee has a Wi-Fi connection.
Yeah. So you'll save some money not using your data.
Exactly.
And if you're having trouble again with where those settings are, there are people you can go to YouTube. You can call your senior center. There might be somebody there. There are lots of young folks, grandkids, kids. They often help me out when I have a problem. They know what to do.
I was just going to say, you mentioned a great thing, and that is kids today pick up so much and absorb so much, and they're not afraid. And if you remember when we were kids,
we played.
We had fun. We were fearless also. We explored things and break things. It's funny, when I was a kid, I was always into electronics. And so I break a lot of electronics, try to figure out what made it work or whatever. And I had no idea what I was doing at the time. But I wasn't afraid of it.
Yeah.
And
my 2-year-old grandson, he's hilarious. He'll say, will you type in the password? Like, he understands passcodes. He understands. He plays around. They have a game now where my son, their uncle, will run around the house and they'll have a pretend remote and hit pause. And that's everybody has to freeze, so they pause. Yeah, and these two,
That's great.
So they just get it because it's not that complicated. They're just not fearful.
I think the biggest thing I would say to parents and grandparents is, if their kids have phones and all that stuff, limit some of that, because they really so into it.
Yeah, it can be addictive.
It is addictive. If you ask anybody, they'll say, well, I'm on my Facebook, I don't know, 4 or 5 times a day, or I'm looking at my emails all day long.
Yeah.
And it gets addictive. And sometimes if you have things to do, the other things you have to do don't happen because you're so tuned into your Facebook or your whatever you're into,
LinkedIn, so it can. I'm glad you mentioned that, because it can have two sides to it. It can help you stay connected, but I do see people get obsessed in staying on Facebook way too long and get sort of into just negative kind of toxic stuff, and so they really need to be careful. We do on a lot of our phones now have a screen time, giving you some feedback on how long you've been on. So
which
that's
I think is great, because you can look at that. And of course, a person like yourself, you want to get people to exercise and do things that are healthier. So at the same time, you want to embrace the technology, you also want to embrace yourself.
That's
right.
And
you want to make yourself sure you are okay as a person, doing other things other than on your phone all day, or on your laptop or your tablet or wherever you're at. I think that's important as well. So even though you embrace technology, also embrace yourself.
Yeah, staying safe. I know that you've done a lot of things recently since I've known you with your health, and I'm trying to see. I think I can see some similarities in your approach to learning technology and teaching and using it in your work, and also the way you address your own health and well-being. Can you make a tie-in with that? Like, what has gone on with you in your health and the changes you've made? What are you doing?
Well, a couple things. I started working out with a trainer. In fact, he was a guest on your show. And
was that David?
David, yes.
Yeah, he's awesome. David Shanahan.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a great guy.
Yeah.
And which is great, because I need that. Even though I'm great with technology, I'm not great with exercising and some of that stuff.
Yeah.
And so
or it's new to you, right?
It's new to me.
Yeah.
At the same time, Do
you see what I'm catching you on, saying you're not good at something, but it was just something that was not your comfort level, and you needed to learn. So what did you do? You went out and asked for help. Same thing, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And that's so true, by the way.
Yeah.
And because one of the things I always do, and I think it's probably always been to my benefit, is I go every year get an annual physical.
Yeah.
Because I always find that things pop up, you'll find out what they are, and you can treat it quickly and be well.
Yep. You changed your diet too, didn't you?
Yes.
So you made some changes. Did you take the same fun approach to that, or did you ask for help, or how
I
did
asked
you?
for help.
Yeah.
To me, I don't have all. I don't have all the answers.
We all can't. We can't know everything about everything, even if it's our wheelhouse.
And again, because I have the approach that I'm not going to fight it. I'm going to get the answers, and I'm going to work with people that are fun to work with and can get me to where I want to go.
Yeah.
I find that's a lot more fun than I got to do this.
Yeah.
And you got to do it by yourself. I can't do it by myself.
Yeah. No, you don't want to, maybe?
Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah.
It's a lot more when you get involved with people that give you that boost, that give you that, you can make it, you can do it.
Yeah.
I love that.
I think of it as borrowing confidence.
Yeah.
So if I see you do it, I'm like, wow, maybe I won't do it as fast, and then I get involved with you to help me with something, and it's something you are good at, and I'm unpracticed. I don't want to say I'm not good at it. I just haven't practiced it. So, like skating, I haven't done the work of. So I can. You're going to encourage me to get out of my comfort zone.
Right. And I'm that kind of person. Sometimes
Yeah.
there are things you got to encourage me to do to get out of that comfort zone.
Larry, we're all that kind of person.
But
we're all the same, right? It's just a different subject.
And but what's great is that once you discover you could do it,
Yeah.
it wasn't as difficult as you thought it was.
Exactly. Yeah.
and you feel good about it.
Yeah.
And you go and you're, I wish I knew this like sooner rather than now, but it's never too late.
Right, exactly. That makes my point. It's that back to where we started, which is we tell ourselves stories. I'm not good at exercising. I'm not good at losing weight. I'm not good at taking care of, being consistent. It's just that we haven't uncovered what we needed. We haven't found the help we need. We can't be good. We have different interests and, aptitudes and things, so we kind of gravitate to one thing or another.
Right.
But if I'm not good at something, like I have these at home, and I know somebody who can help me make these VHS tapes for my kids learning to walk, if they haven't been destroyed yet, into digital.
Right.
I could do it myself, but then I'd have to buy equipment, and I'd have to read a bunch of stuff, and I can do it, but I just don't want to be bothered. I'm going to call an expert, and have you do it for me. That's the kind of thing where I make a choice. This is worth my interest and my time, whereas I'll spend a lot more time diving deep on something else that I'm interested in doing.
Right.
Maybe talking about omega-3 today. I was talking about omega-3, listening to a podcast, taking notes, and you don't want to do that. I'm just going to tell you which one to take.
Exactly. but that's so true because
Yeah.
you're the expert on that. And so I wouldn't rely on you to tell me.
Yeah.
I'm the expert on how to transfer videos to digital.
Yeah.
And so you don't have the time, don't want to have the time.
I have the time, but I don't. It's
But
my choice.
It's
Yeah.
your choice.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
But so you say, okay, you do it,
Yeah.
and I can work on other projects.
Yeah.
Same thing when you talk about omega-3. Well, I could go and do a lot of research, but you've already done that.
I've already done it.
So
or I've already made the mistake and paid the dummy tax.
Exactly. And so I don't have to do that. I rely on you, and then the bottom line is that I benefit from that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So your knowledge is so important about things of health,
Yeah.
just like my knowledge of technology is. Because. And that's what makes everything work so nicely, is because if you rely on people who are knowledgeable and stuff like this,
Yeah.
you're only going to get what you want, the answers you need. And you don't have to do a lot of research. You just got to know the right people.
I think one of the big benefits I've had from technology is, and why I admire what you do so much, is that you preserve memories.
Yes.
And you help deliver messages for people. And it's just such a gift to be able to go back and see, my children growing up, or even when I'm trying to deliver a message and and have somebody help me be more clear about it. It's just such a gift.
Mm.
Yeah.
And you know what's nice about it is that once you lose it, you never get it
Lose
back.
it,
So that's why you want
right.
to preserve it.
Yeah.
And just tapes, by the way, do eventually.
They
okay,
break down.
break
I've
down.
seen it, yeah.
They get brittle.
Yeah.
They get moldy.
Plus, we store them in bad places.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
And so these memories you
Yeah.
can't get again. I had one person who gave me some tapes, and it had mold on it and whatnot. They moved it from the attic to the basement, back to the attic, wherever. And they just kept moving around. Finally said, we got to do something with these things.
Yeah.
And once they have mold, it's almost impossible to save them.
Yeah.
Okay, and chances are you can't.
Yeah.
And it was the kids growing up, and they lost those memories.
That's sad.
And so I tell everybody, if you have tapes, now's a great time to transfer them.
Yeah. And what a great gift.
Yeah, it's a great gift as well. And the other thing that that I do a lot is I'll go. People will be having weddings or bar mitzvahs or sweet 16s or recitals
and all those
hockey
memories.
or
Yeah.
sports. And you want to to me it's like when you go to these things, you don't want a relative or friend shooting a video because they're not going to shoot it. They're little bits and pieces. You want a professional to do it.
Yeah.
It's like when you go have your car fixed. Maybe anybody can change the oil, but
Well, again, you've learned all of these techniques.
Yeah.
Larry, we're almost out of time.
wow.
I know it goes so fast. Really quickly, in 60 seconds or less.
Okay.
Top 3 things it takes for you to be totally well.
Top 3 things. Well, I like taking a vitamin.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can mention a name of what I take or not.
Well, it's just a good quality vitamin.
A good quality vitamin. I now like working out with Dave.
Yeah.
Okay, because I think that's important.
Yeah.
And I just enjoy life.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing, enjoy being with family and just enjoying life. And for activities, I also enjoy the Red Sox. So
Yeah.
so I mean, there's those
So
are
connection, and I think that it really shows your attitude of really happy that you're here and being present with people. And I so appreciate that about you, and appreciate you coming on the show to help our guests and viewers know that technology is our friend.
It is. No doubt. It's our friend. It's in our cars today.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
It's not going away.
It's not going anywhere. It
Yeah.
just gets, and by the way, it gets better and better.
Yeah, and more fun.
It is. And like I said, just embrace it. Have fun with it. Go on YouTube if you don't know how to use something. Ask a friend who may know someone who knows someone that knows how to use it. I mean, people love to share knowledge.
They do. Ask for help.
Yeah.
Larry Haber, lhvideo.com. Thank you so much for coming
Thank
and
you
sharing.
for inviting me.
Yeah.